So,
and I'm glowing power cosmic.
Yeah, that was messed up. So, my kids had the well. First, welcome to another edition of Doomsday Doopy Doo. This is episode 65, I think. I am your host, Nick. I am here with, of course, Chris. Hello, Chris. He's
Hello,
waving
Chris.
for the podcast listeners, and then of course,
Hi, podcast listeners.
Player 2, Joe, is with us as well. Say hello,
hey
Joe.
everyone.
There you go. I apologize for being almost an hour late. I had some technical difficulties on this whole setup because my kids are back in remote, and I'm sharing 2 computers now with them, and I'm going to blame them. Why not? I'm just going to say it was their fault because there's no way I could have messed up, and
No way.
There's absolutely no way. So that's the reason for the delay. We had we were on a roll there for a little bit. We had 2 weeks in a row where we had none of that shit. Everything was like just flowing fine. But that, I think, really was partially because no one was touching the computer, and partially because maybe me. I don't know if I might have screwed up. But we're here. We're queer. Get used to it. Is that the saying?
Gamma chat is all about is.
So the levels may not be perfect. I still haven't figured out a way to like hear everybody live. I hear them, and then I have to switch headphones to hear you guys better. So I'm still not 100% sure. I'm also, it really looks like everything's good. So I think we're good.
Yep.
Ask G Mark. We looking good?
G Mark's our man.
And also Josh has got his brother is in the chat as well.
Oh, hello, Josh's brother. Josh's.
Joe. We're going with. We're gonna lean. We had to lean into Josh.
We're gonna lean into Josh. Is that what we're gonna do?
Into Josh. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go Josh.
Yeah, it's like calling me. I get the idea from Josh. I'm just gonna say it like a million times, like I do in meetings at work, so that I don't fuck up somebody's name. I get the idea from Josh. It's the equivalent of calling me Christopher all the time for him. I feel like that's
is it?
How
is that what it is?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he wasn't like pushy about it, but he just said, "Hey, let's pick a name."
Oh, well, which one? I mean, that's the thing. Is which one did we decide on, or did he decide on? Which one did you decide on? You decided on Josh.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Josh.
I'm going to use character.
Did I say Joe was here, or Josh is here? Joe left.
Yeah, Joe's the kind of thing my mom would say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Joe, is something your mom would say?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. All right, so I'm not gonna ruin that.
It sounds weird when I hear from a bunch of dudes.
Do you feel like you're in trouble when we say Joe?
Yeah, I feel like.
Hi, sweetie.
I just like,
How's your day, dear?
Now? Pick up the garbage.
Are you eating, Joe?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to plug in the laptop before the battery dies.
Okay, good. I thought either that or you were a cast member from the movie The Italian Job. I don't know. I feel like you should be driving a Mini Cooper through this. Is it a Mini Cooper? What the fuck was it? Is that what those fucking little toy cars are?
Yeah, they were Mini Coopers. Yeah, super expensive, hard to repair.
Yeah, why not just drive them all over the fucking place?
You shouldn't want the Maserati something a little faster. No. Give me a bunch of Mini Coopers. That'll.
Well, Mark Wahlberg knew at some point that they were going to have to go down one of those little skinny Italian alleyways.
Oh, that's right.
Cooper would be able to go, and none of the other Italian, but all the fucking.
Chris always has an excuse for lazy riding.
You watched Ratatouille a bunch of times. It was like, we need a small vehicle.
Chris always very lenient. You're always lenient with.
I think it depends on the kind of
movie creators.
If it's like The English Patient, I'm expecting you to be pretty hardcore, like the physics of it. But if you're doing like over the top or something, I think whatever. I think we got to suspend some level of disbelief.
I agree.
But you're right. Lazy writing is lazy writing. But
all right.
So you said you wanted to confirm some things before we got started, Nick, and I'm on the edge of my seat because I think I know what you're talking about.
Well,
but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm worried that I left a gap in my game now. Like there's an opening.
That. Well, yeah. Well, what happened was is well, you got to do the recap, right? You can do the recap, and then I'm gonna make sure that we don't forget that something that happened.
Okay.
Josh
so you're gonna
probably
wait
remembers.
to see-
Josh probably remembers too. He probably has it written down. You probably all have it written down, but
Okay.
I'm not sure. So just go ahead. You could do where we're at currently, and
Okay.
we'll go from there.
I always like to do the lost thing, is what I feel like I'm channeling here. Previously on Gamma World, our heroes entered the city of Edgewater, and well, sorry, that was the episode before. You woke up on the boat, and you experienced some of the life of the individuals that crew the ship, the Wanderer, and the lazy and shiftless Captain Yola, who didn't do much but sit on the bridge and sleep. And the ever busy first mate Raja, who pretty much does the heavy lifting and gets the crew going. You got underway after you got your weapons back, and some slight paranoia and trepidation about whether you're going to get your stuff back. You did indeed. The magistrate showed up and unlocked the boxes and let you guys go, and you settled into life at sea, or at least at let's call it coastline, because you really just kind of hugged the coastline. And fell into a pretty regular. I'm brain farting on the word right now.
Routine.
Routine. Yes, that's it. That was the word I could not think of. Routine. It's going to be a long night, boys. Strap in. So Meecho had some very paranoid, massively paranoia moments where he thought perhaps the ship was taking him somewhere he didn't want to go. And we thought maybe he was going to storm the bridge of the ship. But eventually
That's right.
you did arrive at the port of Riverport, which you found to be very small and almost uninhabited. You refueled, and you agreed with the first mate and the captain that they would take you a little bit further to get you to a point where you could walk to Brookdale. And not Glendale, which I almost said as well again. Brookdale. And as you entered the mouth of the river and began to traverse it, you reached a point where there was a bunch of debris and things that have been used to clog up the river. The ship tied itself off, and you and 6 of the 12 crew, set out to go and try to unstick the logs and investigate. Meecho and one of the crew members, who he had been kind of in a pissing contest about who was going to get fucked or not, and who did the fucking. This guy.
I like that guy. That guy was cool.
We're kind of flexing your muscles at one another and trying to unstick the logs, when he unfortunately tripped some kind of mechanism that released 2 of these extremely large eels, one of which charged at him and kind of half phased through his body and then exploded out the back end of him. And that was where we left off. Now, I do remember at one point that our resident wizard, nano tech, had tried to infuse and imbue you with some additional strength.
Yes, that's what I was going to make sure you didn't forget. My strength is up at the moment.
Yeah,
it's up. I think all the way up at 17.
Yeah, I think he gave me +2. I'm a 15. I think he gave me +2.
Yeah, you were 16. It went up to 17. Yeah.
So now
it's
I don't know what that
damage.
Yeah,
it's +2 to damage. That's all it is. So instead of +1, it's an additional +1 or +2 in total.
Well, no, I already have +2 to melee damage.
So wait. So you had.
If he was at a 15, he already had a +2. So going up to 17 would mean it goes from +2 to +3.
Okay, so I have a +3 melee now.
For how long? What's the duration?
It was 5 rounds, and I don't think a round passed yet. The eel. I don't even think the eel just shot through this thing.
This should really technically be round 1.
Well,
I think.
I remember this slightly differently. So you were trying to pry things.
Yes, I was trying to lift logs.
Mr. Mallory tried to help you kind of show off.
Right.
He hit you with it. You tried to move the logs. You still didn't move the logs. So
okay, so if you could consider that a round. You could consider that a round. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so we'll say we're at round 2, to be fair.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 of the strength thing. Exactly. Okay. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we will keep a very close eye on that. I'm going to open up a fresh doc here so that I can keep track.
Geez, so
of,
like official.
Yeah, sorry. I'm imbued with power cosmic today, everyone. So if you'll see me glowing, it's just because I'm about to strike down my enemies with my incredibly powerful.
That's us. He's talking about us.
I'm going to smite my enemy with great
we don't
power.
want the DM to strike down his enemies.
Furious vengeance.
And also, I wanted to ask the stutter gauntlet. Is that from the future, the D20 future supplement, or is it in Gamma World book? Because I couldn't find it in the Gamma.
No, it doesn't exist except for anywhere but right here.
Ah, okay.
So, like, sometimes,
that's why I was trying to
very
look
often,
at. Mm-hmm.
It's almost a good idea not to look up these things, because if you do, you're going to be giving yourself all the information that the DM might be purview to, but the player might not be.
Okay.
So you might have access to the books. If he tells you you have an item, I wouldn't look it up if I were you. It's going to kind of remove some of the mystery behind it. Some of the fun of Gamma World is figuring out how this stuff works.
Yeah, but I'm just embarrassed that I keep asking what it does. So I thought I was going to read it and finally write it down and take the notes. Because what happens is I find out what these things do, and I'm still not good enough to take in all these notes. So, all right. So then,
over it again.
So I mean, I know, and it doesn't all fit in the section for the weapon itself, because it's got 2 different cooldowns. It's got an effect. It's got 2 different ranges. It's so like now I think the 2 ranges were 5 feet and 5 to 6 feet, and the other one ranges about 30 to 40 feet, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Then you're either using it melee or you're using it ranged.
Yeah.
Right. So
melee
like
or
range.
Setting and a high setting, right? On the low setting, you're using it at point blank range with the use of the fact that you're going to try to stun the person that you're in some kind of melee combat.
Right. So now I have the stun, but then I think I also have that that attack does also 1d6. 1d6 plus a chance to stun. Or I don't know if that's correct or not. And
I don't think that's correct.
It's just a stun. It's just a move for stun. Okay, so then what does the range attack do? That's where I don't. Is that 1d6? That's it.
The range attack was up to 40 feet. It takes you would have to charge for 6 full rounds, and it's 3d6 damage.
Oh, it's 3d6.
Yeah. I'll write it up for you, Nick, on a doc and share it with you in the drive so that you can do whatever.
And
you
is
do.
there is that honed in on one?
Yes, it's
or is
on one.
there what's it called when there's multiple hit multiple things?
Like an area effect?
Area effect. So no area effect.
No area effect. So think of it like this. You're basically on the low setting, it's a wide band beam of sonic energy that can stun an opponent, right?
And that's no area of effect there either? Like if I have 2 guys on me? Okay.
No, it's just wide and it's more stunning. What you're doing when you go range is you're turning it on the high setting and you're setting it, and it's a compact burst of sound, like concussive energy.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
So that's essentially
so that's got a cooldown of 6.
It's either a charge up. I would say consider it a charge up, right? It'll have a base charge in it ready.
That's the only wording.
And then once you shoot it, you have to wait either the 3 rounds for the close up or the 6 rounds for the
6 and 3.
I kind of remember you mentioning the stun effect though too.
On the long range?
On the short range, on the melee, there was no stun effect associated with that weapon.
Yeah, no, with the short range, he said
a stun effect. Yeah,
it's just stun effect, no damage though.
Yeah.
I thought it did damage. I thought it was like 1d4. I thought, or something small like that.
It was low.
It is a 1d4, right?
I mean, stun is a condition. If it's applied once you get a successful hit, I mean that's still good because that forces that condition on the enemy, and that usually equals like -2 on all their rolls and stuff like that. So it's still useful.
But flat-footed, right?
Yeah. So I have melee is stun plus 1d4, and the
long
for
3 rounds
or 1d4 rounds on a failure of a fortitude check. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Yep.
Wait, what did you just say? I didn't hear you. I was talking.
So the low setting on it is a stun.
Right.
For 1d4 up to 1d4 rounds if they fail a fortitude check. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. Do we know does he know the DC? They have hit the fortitude DC?
What do you mean?
to not be stunned.
Oh, it depends on the target, though, doesn't it? It depends on their fortitude.
But the DC should not be changing from target to target. It should be like the DC. This is the DC. Like usually it's probably 15.
Okay, yeah. Then it's 15. Then we'll go with 15.
15 is like a DC of 10 is any Joe Pesci can do it. A DC of 15 is you kind of have to be a little bit more advanced to pull it off. Then DC of 20 is like expert. 25 is you're getting into really occult territory. 30 is like this is really hard. Yeah, 35 and 40 is like only like the cream of the cream could do these kinds of checks.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, I mean, right now 20 would be almost 20 would be impossible.
Well, a decent like a DC 15 is pretty good combat wise when, especially when you're dealing with critters, right? Like they might get it, but there's a good chance that they won't.
But most critters tend to have a pretty solid.
Yeah, fortitude. Yeah, for sure.
Will not so much unless it's a psionic, but fortitude.
So you have to add fortitude. We're going to add the fortitude to the DC.
Yeah. So, for instance, if something had a +5 to a fortitude save, I would roll the 1d20 +5. They have to get 15 or more. If they got a 10 or higher, they're safe.
Right.
No effect.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so now I'm standing on a bunch of debris on the thing, and this happened. How close to me? There was a hole shot through the sky.
Yeah, you were. I would say you guys were in pretty close. Yeah, within 6 feet of each other.
We were pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I even believe that it was the two of you together that kind of moved some of the logs enough to open this stuff up.
Right.
So there are 6 people. There are 6 crewmen from the ship. Meecho and Mr. Mallory, the way that I remember it is they're on the shoreline, right?
Well, I wouldn't be standing that far away from Meecho because I had to imbue him
with the nanites,
right? So I wouldn't be that far away from him, maybe 6 feet as well.
Okay, so you're there, and Glume is closer to the shoreline. He was covering everybody. And let's assume that maybe one other crewman is in your proximity.
Yeah, because the rest of the crew was on the boat, I think, and we took a dinghy over or something.
Half the crew went over on a small ship, so 6 of the 12 are with you. 1 is dead. That leaves 5.
Okay, so there's 5 of us. All right, 5 of them. All right.
And what happens is, and we'll roll initiative here in a moment, but so the one that attacks that guy is obviously the one that you guys have to worry about. The other one is going to peel off and fight the other. How many crewmen are there? The other 4 crewmen in another area of where the clog is. So we're going to I'm going to try to streamline this combat a little bit so that I don't have to sit here and I'm rolling dice for 45 fucking minutes. Everybody waits for the outcome. So we'll simplify it. But that is the situation that we're in. So let's get initiative, and let's make sure that another thing that I'm not sure I was doing is let's add our initiative bonuses. I'm sure I don't have to tell Josh that, but I'm not sure if you were doing it
Absolutely.
or not.
So initiative bonus is really easy. The only bonus you should get to initiative is your dexterity modifier.
Yep, that's what I see. And I have a +1.
If you have
improved initiative, that would boost your initiative. There's a few feats, a few abilities out there that might boost your initiative, but not many. Most players, it's really just your dexterity modifier is your initiative modifier. That's it.
Yep.
So if you have a +2 to dex, you have a +2 to initiative. If you have the feat improved initiative, then you get a +4. But not a lot of people have that feat, especially not in D20 Modern, because there's so many feats to pick up. I don't think any of us have it.
Yep.
So if you don't have improved initiative,
no,
then your dexterity modifier is your initiative modifier.
All right, let's go. I got it. You ready?
Yep. Go ahead and roll your initiative.
18. That's
18
my 17 +1. Yep.
Okay. Sorry, that was the wrong one. What about you, Mr. Mallory? Doing some accounting here. 12. Okay. I'm gonna roll for Glume. He was watching you guys, so he has 15. Okay, and then I'm gonna roll the creature. which his initiative is. Where's his initiative bonus? Defense, speed. Oh, okay. 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 Let me just segregate this other guy out so he's not mixed in with us. Put him down here, and I'm not going to do anything with him just yet. Okay. So the order of attack is Meecho, Glume, Mallory, and then the eel.
Okay.
So Glume, the eel is 6 feet away from you. He bursts through the guy's chest. Like I said, he kind of phased through the front of his chest and explodes out the back of him, leaving a gaping hole the size of this mutant giant blue scaled eel. And he turns and hisses at you because you're obviously, you and Mallory are probably the closest thing to him. So what will you do, Meecho?
I just quickly throw my gauntlet up and I do a quick low stun on him.
Okay. So your gauntlet was charged and has a charge ready. So you fire the low one and roll, or actually he has to roll a save. I believe there's no hit to it. Oh, Jesus Christ. He rolled a 20. He already also had a +6 to his fortitude. That is a 26. So you turn the gauntlet to him as he's moving towards you, and you hit him with the stun blast, which he kind of shakes off.
Okay.
Not even kind of. He easily shakes it off because he rolled a 20. Okay. So Glume is on the shoreline. Since he...
I still have a small action. After I shoot this thing at him, I'm not even looking at the result of it as I'm reaching down and pulling out my vibroblade.
Perfect. Yep, that is acceptable. All right, so you draw your vibroblade in the opposite hand, and it's Glume's turn. Now he's on the shore, and usually, if we were in melee, he would get a negative to shooting into melee. But I think this round he can get a shot before. I don't know. What do you think, Josh? You think that would be allowable? We're not actually. He's not engaged in melee yet because the eel has not closed on him.
Who, Glume?
So, in melee is something that we might want to look up for the purposes of this game. It's kind of handled differently between 3.5 and D20 Modern.
I thought it was -4 to shoot in the melee because
usually it's -4. Exactly. That's how I would do it myself too. If you're shooting into melee, it's a -4. Only because you're trying to train your attack basically on the one guy who's not your friend, right?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's.
But the only question I have is he hasn't closed on him though.
Yeah.
Right?
So we just started. Until his turn comes, he's still considered flat-footed. I don't think you can shoot into melee at this point because everyone's just starting their actions.
Yeah, he's like you said. Yeah, he's flat-footed, which is another thing, Nick, that we'll talk about here. If the benefit of getting initiative over other people is by the time they get to you, you can use your dexterity bonus for your defense. If you are attacked early, like if somebody else gets the highest initiative, you are considered flat-footed, so your defense, your dexterity does not apply in those instances.
It's like being caught off guard.
Yeah, because they roll.
When I haven't seen my dexterity apply yet, when would it apply?
So your dexterity is automatically applied to your armor, but if you were caught flat-footed, you take your dexterity part out of your armor, your defense.
Okay. Yep.
So keep that in mind. If this thing had rolled the highest initiative and attacked any of us, you basically are flat-footed. You do not get your dexterity, which is probably not as big a deal for you. But like for Glume, who's all dexterity, it would be a big deal. That's probably 9%, 90% of his defense is dexterity, so it would be deadly. Although, well, that's another conversation for another day. So he can get one shot. Anything after this is going to be a penalty, or he's going to have to close and help you guys out that way. So, range attack bonus, defense of this thing. He's going to take a single shot with his fléché rifle, and This thing's defense is only okay. Ew, Jesus. Okay, he missed. So he takes a shot and misses pathetically.
That's Glume, right? I missed.
That was Glume that missed. Yeah. So now it's Mallory's turn. So Mr. Mallory, you can go.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take like a tentative 5-foot step back from everything that just happened in front of me to kind of put some distance between the creature and myself.
Okay.
I should still have my nanotech attunement. I still have quite a few points available. So I'm going to try this first. I'm going to try to put the creature to sleep.
Okay.
So I'm going to extend my nano into it, and I'm going to try to trigger in its brain its sleep receptors.
Okay.
So it's going to cost me 5 points in the DC 7. I should pass the DC without a problem. I got a plus 10. So yeah, 21. So I pass.
Okay, and that manifests the power that you needed, right?
Exactly. So cause target creature to sleep or target robot to power off temporarily. DC increase with number of creatures if you want the power to last longer than 1 round. So it lasts only 1 round right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to put it to sleep for the next round. I passed my DC, so I should be able to do it, and I have enough nano points to pull it off.
Okay.
So, and it is a creature. It's got a low IQ. It's not like it's an intelligent being. It should be quite easy to pull off. Like I was putting sleep to fish by, like if you have a koi pond and you cover it, you can fool the koi into thinking it's nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Put him to sleep that way, kind of thing. So that's essentially what I'm trying to do to this creature.
Okay, so what is his DC to roll to save?
He has none. This is nanotech, so I don't think he has any ability to...
He doesn't get to resist?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, because I have a target DC that I need to reach, and I've reached it.
But even when you cast a sleep spell in D&D, doesn't the target get a save?
Yeah, but it's not a spell. This is nanotech, and that's why it's kind of different from that. It's the DC is mine. Like if I cast sleep as let's say I'm a mage in a D&D game, and I'm casting sleep, I don't have a DC that I have to pass. I just cast sleep, and then they have to pass the DC.
Yeah.
In this game, the DC is mine to pass. I have to manifest the ability to do this. And because I manifested it, I put the points where I needed to and made sure that my character was able to, the target does not get a will save or anything like that. It's just But again, it's not extremely powerful. It's 1 round we're talking about.
Okay.
So for 1 round, it kind of like dozes off.
Okay, so that would be its round, which would be next.
Correct.
And also, Glume is going to take a 5-foot step towards you guys while he's scoping and shooting, because he can do at least that. Okay.
G-Mark's mentioning it too. Like usually, you'd have to make a spell save DC if we were dealing with spells, but this is not a spell.
Yeah, I think this will be to be continued. We'll table it for now, but I want to. I don't know. Let me read. I haven't read any of the magic stuff, so I should read that because I was like, I don't need magic.
What level is Josh's character?
Same as yours.
Yep. Actually, he's lower level than you. He's you're 4th level, right, Josh?
Yeah, I think so.
And you're 5th level. So he's
I'm level 4. I have myself at level 4.
We leveled you up. You've leveled up twice, Nick.
Oh, that's right. I started at 3. Oh, this is I never changed it on the piece of paper.
I'm at 4. I think you're at 5.
Yep, and I made him at 4 because you were at 4. So, you're 5.
Because I was listening to some of the games. He's like rolling 30s of this and 30 of that, and I barely.
Yeah, but his character is very tailored to certain things that he's very good at, and then there are a whole slew of other things that he's not so good at.
I'm thinking I screwed up I feel like when I listen to him play, I feel like I screwed up my character creation.
No, not at all. I put all my points in the things that mattered from my character. So he's got a really high intelligence. But I got like 20 hit points, man. I get knocked off by a wind, and that's it. My goose is cooked. You know, so like my character is very fragile.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like a mage. But the other piece too, Nick, in that you weren't aware of, and it's because you never played before, was you can go through and pick your feats and tailor yourself to help beef up the things that you're really good at and make them better by picking certain feats that are going to make you better at the things that you're good at, right?
Right.
So if you make up another character, you'll be better at that when you read the rules. You'll be
Yeah, my next character is going to be more powerful than this one, for sure. I mean, I went in a couple of different directions with my feats, and I should have concentrated probably in one or two.
Well, exactly. If you're trying to be decent at a bunch of different things, then that's one thing. But if you're focused on a thing, you're going to be better at that, but you're going to be weak at other things.
Because like I feel like I'm a fighter. I feel like I'm a fighter, and I'm constantly rolling miss. But I'm supposed to be the most powerful, like the guy who beats everybody up, and I rarely do. I do the least amount of damage in my party all the time.
It's going to be very easy to beef up your character, though. Like compared to a character that's trying to be a mage but just completely fails at the output, it's going to be a lot easier to beef up your character in a sense where all you need to achieve is a +4 to your strength, a +4 to your con. That's your basics. And then on top of that, every level you're going to be gaining feat after feat after feat. Like already, and just the last time you leveled up, you got cleave. Cleave is going to be major useful down the line.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of other opportunities to really beef up. It's a lot easier to beef up a fighter type character than it is to beef up a mage. A mage, man, you only have like one or two paths really to pick to kind of min-max the character. And if you don't do those correctly, you kind of fail. Whereas a fighter, you're just going to keep accumulating feat after feat every level. So you're going to have lots of opportunities to get beefed up.
Yeah, and that's also another thing, Nick.
And Mark makes a good point. There's also 3 types of fighters: there's ranged, melee, and grappling.
Yep, and you're shooting. You probably shoot more than you swing a sword, really, and that's why you miss more because you're probably better.
Well,
at swinging a sword.
My sword and my pistol does far more damage, and the difference between my melee and ranged is only 1. So if it's 7 melee and 6 ranged, and you have a choice between rolling a 2d8 or a 2d6, which attack are you taking? The 2d8.
Well,
all the time.
Yeah, but it really depends. Also, some melee weapons, like if you were to use a knife or a vibroblade, you can actually get a critical on some weapons like 18, 19s, and 20s. Certain weapons, think about that.
Well, none of mine. Actually, no. The Durasteel knife I can roll a 19. But that's a 1d4. So even if it's a critical,
improved critical is a feat. If you got improved critical on that knife, your critical range for that knife would go up to 17. Everything above 17 would be considered a critical hit,
right?
A possible critical.
So that's 1d4 plus 1 plus your strength for damage, right?
Yeah.
1d4
and then, like
plus
you're saying,
1. What do you mean plus 1?
So read those feats like cleave and great cleave and all those things.
Those
are the things.
Yeah, I read those. Power attack and cleave.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I was gonna do something, but I'm not gonna do it now. But yeah,
you got a good character. Like, trust me. Like,
you're fine.
Your character's gonna be very useful, and you didn't roll him wrong in any kind of sense. Yeah, it's every level you're gonna have better opportunities to just keep giving him techniques that no other character has.
Yep. And Mark also makes a good point too. You get to the point where you reach a certain level where you're getting multi attacks now.
Yeah.
You attack more than once in a round because you're experienced. Or
and as a fighter, you get to that, way before everyone else. Like I'll never or almost never be able to get 2 attacks per round. You're going to get that very quickly, like at level 6 or level 8.
Yeah. And also, if you decide to get into dual wielding, now you're dual wielding. You have 2 weapons, and you're having 2 attacks. You're once again, you're developing. You're a low level character.
Okay.
It's to be expected. So
okay, good.
You're gonna miss. So all right. So Mr. Mallory pushes out his nanites, and they disorient. They kind of pulse around this thing's head, and it disorients him to the point where he kind of slumps to the ground for a few seconds, and gives everyone a chance to catch their breath for a moment. So we'll go back around again, and in the distance you can hear the other guards engaging the other eel. So we're back around.
If I may, 6 words.
Okay.
Hit it while it's down.
Okay.
See now here, I give you like for instance here. I did pull out my vibroblade, but probably I shouldn't have. I probably should have pulled out my charge pistol because they're both a roll critical 20. The most I can get on the vibroblade is a 12 with 2 6s. The most I can get on a charge pistol is 16.
But you're more likely to hit with your fist than you are with your range attacks.
By 1 point.
Right?
By only 1 point.
Okay. If it's really just 1 point, then that means you're versatile. It means you can use both depending on the situation, And
Well, I just went with class rank on the melee and the range. Maybe I did that wrong. I might have did that wrong.
No, because I think you're a tough hero, right?
No, he's a strong hero.
Or a strong hero. You have a high base attack bonus, and that base attack bonus gets applied to both melee and ranged.
Yep.
So you add, like for melee, it's base attack bonus plus strength. For ranged, it's base attack bonus plus dexterity. If both your strength and your dexterity are high, then yes, you're going to have high outputs for both, which is good.
No, wait.
Wait.
So my attack rolls are wrong. You said it's so my base. I have a 6 plus. No, wait. 5. I forget what my base was. I only have here is a +1.
Mm-hmm.
Then my level
so you have
I got
your
one
class, your class plus your attribute,
right, which is +1.
Plus any special stuff that you have.
Usually
it's your base class plus your ability.
But now the modifier on the side says strength. I haven't been adding my strength to my melee.
Yeah. So if you have a 4 plus and a +1 for strength, it would be a +5 to every.
I have a 7, including I have a class rank that says +1 here. I have it written.
Okay.
Down. So
And
that's my 7.
Smash, right?
That
That's
equates to
+4.
7. But I have a +2 strength, so really my melee is 9.
No, your melee. I don't think your melee is +9.
I mean, but I believe that it's strong though, because he should have his base attack bonus, his strength, and then he should because he has melee smash as well, so that's at least a +1. If his weapon is considered a if his weapon is considered of superior class, then that also gives him a +1, like a masterworked weapon.
Yeah, I don't know if it's masterwork. He gets the extra damage from the fact that the blade is vibrating.
Most, because you'll find like
It
most
does twice
guns,
as much damage as a normal sword. Right.
You'll find that like most guns actually give the user a +1 because most guns are considered masterwork weapons.
All right, so we'll leave it as a 7 for now, but I think that's supposed to be higher because I'm looking at the thing. When he mentioned strength, I looked all the way across, and I see modifiers, and I see strength, and I didn't put anything there, and I know I'm a +2.
I'm trying to find the base level stuff for strong.
Matter of fact, I don't even for grapple too. I don't have my strength.
I can find it. So what are your levels, Nick?
I'm a level 4.
You're a level 4.
You're level 5.
I'm a level 4. I'm level 5. I'm sorry. Level 4, 5 strong hero adventure.
So you're level 5.
Your base attack is +5 at level 5.
Right.
So level 5 strong hero has a base attack of +5.
Plus your strength.
What's your strength?
+2.
So that's +7 right there.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. You have melee smash, so that's +8. Right? You have
+1,
melee
yep.
smash.
Mm-hmm.
So that's +8 right there with all your melee attacks. If you're using a weapon that's also part of your weapon focus, or it's a masterworked weapon, that's an additional +1. So yes, your +8 could potentially be a +9. Very easily, in fact, your +8 could be a +9.
Well, I was a 7, so I'm gonna make it at least an 8. I'll make it an 8.
It's an 8. I don't think we're gonna. I'll figure out. I need to read this masterwork weapon thing, and I'll make my decision on that. But let's go with +8, which is still a lot better than whatever you had before.
Yeah.
My base class rank though is 5, right?
Your base attack for a strong hero at level 5 is +5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm an 8 and a 6. Okay, so now there's a 2-point difference. All right, so now I'm going to whip out my vibro. Well, I already have the vibroblade out.
Yep.
And switching it on. I mean, I don't know if that's a move.
That doesn't take any action.
That doesn't take any action, right? Okay, so while this thing's asleep,
You could probably draw it and switch it on in one move. That's probably one.
Okay. Being that it's asleep, do I get any bonus here? Like, can I
Well,
aim
yeah,
for
it
it at
doesn't
its head for extra damage or something like that?
Well, first of all, it's denied its dex, so
It's
it no
denied
longer
its
has
dex,
a dex to its AC. So,
And
which
then-
means it's a lot easier to hit. Which means right now, if you were to use your power attack, it would be a glorious opportunity.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was going to say. I was going to use the power attack.
So you have to move. Now, can you move and use power attack at the same time?
Well, I mean, he was right next to the person who was originally attacked. He would have to move like a 5-foot step, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's just a
And
5
then
foot step.
that's definitely allowable. I mean, that's a free action.
Okay.
He'd 5-foot step into it, power attack that motherfucker, and go for all it's worth.
Right. I'm gonna try that if that's okay.
Now, before you start your power attack, what you do is you remove from your attack what you want to add to your damage. Okay. So
From
right
your
now,
defense,
I have to
you
say
wanna
it now.
add-
no, from his attack. The
Okay.
power attack means
Oh, gotcha.
if the attack
He
goes
takes the
down,
hit. He could take the
but the
hit
damage
away.
goes up.
Right.
Gotcha.
The
So right
damage
now
is
you
gonna
have
go
a
up, but I
plus
may
8
miss.
to your attack.
So it's like a little gambling going on right now. So, but
Yeah,
now
it's a
I
little
can
bit
pick
of
the
gambling.
number, and I have to pick the number now. Before
So
I
you have
roll.
a plus. Yeah, you have a plus 8 to start off with.
So I'm gonna go.
If
I'm
you
gonna cut
bring
it in
your
half.
plus 8 yeah, if you bring your plus 8 down to a plus 4, that means if you hit, you get to add plus 4 to the damage
Right.
output.
I'm gonna go with a 4. I'm gonna go with 4 on the power attack.
Okay. So roll a 1d20, please.
Okay, so I rolled a 12 plus 4 is 16.
All right. You hit.
Okay, and then now 2d6 plus 4, right?
Well, no,
2d
plus your strength plus 4 because
Yeah.
your
Oh.
strength needs to be added too.
Okay, so then oh shit. Okay, so I rolled a 6 and a 4, which is 10. Plus 2 is 12. Plus 4 is 16.
All right.
See, now I'm
Yeah.
fighting. Now I feel like a fighter.
Yeah, your first
So
power
now-
attack. That's
So
awesome.
now, also, that is 16 is exactly the maximum damage threshold for that creature.
Okay, so now let me ask you a question now. You
Okay.
can't do 2 feats in one, can you?
Yes, of course. If you have the feats, you can use them.
Is there another enemy right there adjacent to this one?
No.
Well, you gotta
No,
wait to find out if you killed one first.
No,
Yeah,
if
but
I know,
no,
he said if I
no-
bring him to 0 HP, I am
No,
But
you
we
didn't
don't
on to
even
the
know
next.
if we got there yet. We don't even
Yeah,
know if we got there yet.
But just hold on, though. There's a couple things going on.
I was getting
One,
excited.
You do not have another attack, so you cannot use another feat this round. There's
If he
nothing
kills
else.
it, he
No,
gets his cleave.
that's what
though,
cleave is.
right?
Cleave is
Yes.
not
If he
kill
kills
it,
he gets his cleave.
0 HP or knock down an opponent where he
Mhm.
goes down to 0 HP. I'm
Uh-huh.
allowed an attack to an adjacent.
Oh,
Okay.
that's amazing. That means they took into account massive damage rules, which is brilliant. It means that if he triggers someone's massive damage and they go down to 0, he's allowed his cleave. They don't do that in 3.5, only in D20 Modern. That's awesome.
So the massive damage threshold for this thing is 16. He did 16. So he needs to make a fortitude save, right?
Or fall unconscious
With the-
immediately.
With the DC 15.
Let me look that up.
This is
Yeah, I
good.
had it
I
remembered
think
now.
it's
No.
DC 15. I think it's DC 15.
This game is so fucking so many pieces.
But
For
I
massive
think once you
damage-
get used to it, though, it could go quickly.
Yes, it's DC 15.
So Mark says, can
Yeah, I
now
know.
follow
Let's make
through
a
with a
fort
powerful
save
main
DC 15.
prerequisite. Strength 13. Yeah, I have the strength. Yeah, the power attack, Mark. I picked up. I think last time when I
And
I got the
leveled
phase
up,
there. I just
and
put
I
it in
got
the chat for the
Gotcha.
massive damage.
so and Nick, just so you understand, everything and everyone has a massive damage threshold.
what's
even
that?
You.
What's mine?
So your
Yours
massive
is basically
it's your constitution, right?
Your constitution score, yeah.
Yeah. So if you
your
take a
constitution-
single attack that meets that, it's basically you go into shock. Basically, you die from shock because you've taken massive
Oh, my
physical
full
damage.
constitution.
your full constitution. So if you
Okay.
take a hit that's your full constitution,
I'm knocked
and hit
out.
points, you need to make a fortitude save. And if
Okay.
you don't make it,
I'm
then
knocked
yes,
out.
you go to 0, and you're essentially dying from trauma, right? From the shock of
It's the way they were able to make bullet wounds make sense. Like
Yeah.
when you take a bullet wound to the chest, I don't care how many hit points you are. If it triggers your massive damage, you're going to go down no matter what. You
Yeah,
could
and
be a
that-
dude with 70 hit points. If your constitution is 15 and the bullet does 15 damage, it makes sense that it would take you down, even if you're a massive guy,
Right.
right?
Okay.
And that answers your question from many episodes ago. We were like, these fights are bullshit. We're just, but you guys were just nicking each other. Nobody made a hit anything like this. I don't think I've ever seen a hit like this. So 16, and now he has to make a save. It's 1d20 plus 6 for fortitude. He rolls a 13. That's a 19. So you hack.
So he makes it.
You hack into him deeply, but he makes the save. So his hit points are reduced by 16.
And next round he'll be awake. So he misses this round because I put him to sleep, but next round he'll be up again.
Okay. I think Glume.
At least it gave us a free round.
Yeah, we got a free round. Yeah, big time.
Yep.
And that's what gave me the balls to use the power attack. Was that he was asleep.
That's awesome too, because that's a great opportunity for your power attack. And now you have a good idea of how to use it in the future.
Yeah.
It's these creatures that have a low AC that are not wearing armor. That's the perfect kind of creatures you want to use a power attack on, because you're more likely to hit them. Usually natural creatures that you come up against in the woods are perfect for this, because they usually don't have armor. So they usually always have a low AC. So power attack is exactly like kind of made for those kinds of creatures.
Cool.
Okay,
So
so
good roll. 6 and 4 is a good roll too. Looked out there.
Glume is going to move at full speed to you guys, because he doesn't want to shoot into. Now that you're engaging him, he's not going to shoot, so he's going to move his full round, and he pulls a pretty big curved knife off of his waist, and he's running towards you.
Is that Durasteel?
No, it's not the Durasteel knife. And then it is Mr. Mallory's turn. And basically, yeah, your vibro blade just slices into this thing and basically goes like halfway, saws like kind of halfway through the circumference of this thing. Green blood is just spraying everywhere as the blade is vibrating in the wound, and the thing is like moaning, kind of half asleep. And it's Mallory's turn.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to mental blast it. It's fully charged there, so it should be the maximum number. He has a will save.
Okay.
Wait a sec.
And you set the DC with the level of power you conjure.
Yeah, with my attack. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just making sure I read it. Sorry for
This
the
creature
dead
has
air.
a 3 charisma. Can you believe it has a 3 charisma? I'm trying to fill the dead air now, discussing the fact that this EO has a 3 charisma.
There's 3 charisma.
Yeah, I mean,
What's it do with that charisma?
What does it do? I don't know why it has a charisma stat. I don't know none of its skill. I don't know what is
it
this.
Bangs on the eels. I mean, everything's got to get laid.
I guess so, but like even at a 3, all the other eels also have a 3, so they don't. Sorry.
Will save DC 22.
DC 22. Okay, without a 20, he really can't make that save. So, oh shit, dude. He rolled a fucking 20. I'm not even lying. I'll show you. 20. Which means he automatically succeeds with a 20. It's another thing, Nick. A 20 is a success no matter what.
Okay.
Just like a 1 is a failure no matter what. So he resists your mind blast. Mind blast.
Let me take a quick look there to see if it's
he still
safe for
shoots though, right? The last time I did a mind blast, like he put the gun against your head.
So it must have at least animal level intelligence. What I'm guessing it did.
Intelligence, actually, its intelligence is a 1, so it's relatively mindless.
That's still animal level intelligence.
But there's nothing lower. I don't know.
I think animal level is 1 to 3, like in classic D&D. It'd be considered like intelligence 1 to intelligence 3.
Okay. But what would be then who couldn't you use it against? Because doesn't everybody at least have a 1 intelligence?
No, there's creatures that have no intelligence. There are
0?
creatures that have 0 intelligence.
I'll have to say. I haven't seen one yet, but okay.
But it's a good it's a good question to ask though, for sure, like just to make sure.
Yeah.
I don't see it say like damage is taken off. It doesn't say like save for half, so I guess
just saves.
Yeah, he saves again.
You try to probe into his mind with your psionic energies, and you find it to be such a low intelligence creature that it doesn't even have a mind for you to poke. You struggle with fine tuning your mind blast to poke its pea brain.
It's too alien to me.
Yeah. And yeah, it's serpentine reptile brain that's too primitive to even be influenced by your psionic energies. It starts to shake its head and try to twist the blade out of it, and it pulls itself up, and we're going to start the next round of combat, at which case it will get its chance to attack at the end. So Meecho, you have another attack you may make.
Oh. Okay.
Or you could have a defensive action, or you could move, or you could do whatever you want. So I don't want to influence your decisions.
Well, I'm. He's in front of me. I'm going to. Should I go to the well again and do a power attack? No, I'm just going to do a regular attack with my vibro blade. My blade is out. I'm going to swing at him again as he's getting up.
Okay.
All right. And I critically failed.
You rolled a 1?
Well, I rolled a 1. I got to roll it again, right?
I'm trying to remember the critical failures. I think it's just an automatic failure. It's a critical failure. I don't think you roll again for that.
Okay.
It's really up to the DM. There are critical fail tables for 3.5 that are widely available. Some people use tier systems. They'll ask you to re-roll, and then the more you fail, the worse it is on yourself. But it's really up to the DM.
You know what I'm going to say, that in a combat scenario, instead of re-rolling, you basically overextend yourself in the swing, and you misjudge where he's going to be because he's slithering around and writhing, and you miss and you overextend yourself. So if he attacks you and you're the most likely person to be attacked, I'm going to say you're flat-footed for this next round. I think that's a fair trade-off because you did critically fail.
Okay.
So you will not get your reflex or your dexterity added to your defense for this round if he attacks you.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
So Glume ran towards you guys on his turn, and he can close within melee combat and try to stab this thing with his knife. Okay. Where is I did not use an official character sheet. I just literally typed it into a doc, like straight down, up and down. So it's a little more cumbersome for me to find it. Okay. A crit on it, actually 18 to 20. He rolls a 12 he hits with his knife and sinks it into him. He does 1d6 plus 1. He does 6 points of damage to him. Where am I keeping track of this? I have so many tabs open. So, okay. You're combating this thing, and Glume comes flying over the back of it and just sinks this big curved knife into the side of it while it's kind of half got its back turned to him. And it is Mallory's turn again.
So now that he's next to him, that would be considered shooting into melee.
Yes. Well, they're both. Everybody's engaged in the same kind of 5-foot area or so. So yes, you would have to be careful.
Just taking a look at my options real quick.
Can I say another thing I don't like about D20? There's no morale for monsters. I have to use common sense.
Yeah, there is. I mean, there's typical rules that are kind of always used. If the creature falls by, so 2 rules that are always pervasive in all D&D games. First of all, is if the leader is killed, usually the war force that's with him has to do a morale save. If they fail, they flee. For animals, it's usually half their hit points. If they go below half their hit points, they roll morale. If they fail, they flee. And then
is that a will roll? Is that a will roll then for morale?
No, it's morale. Morale, you could like add their reputation. You can add, like it depends on the animal really and what
Maybe
you
like
want to
challenge,
use.
maybe like challenge rating might.
If
play
an
into it.
animal is particularly stubborn, give it a +2. If it's particularly flighty, give it a -2. You know,
Okay.
like that's what I would do is kind of give it something depending on what. Like a badger, I would say is particularly fighty. It's not gonna run away that easily.
Okay.
However, like a squirrel, the squirrel's gonna drop chow and fucking leave first chance it gets. Right?
Of course, yeah. It depends on. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. But okay. So what are we doing, Mr. Mallory?
I'm still taking a quick look. Okay, so I'm going to take the -4, and I'm going to use my hard baller. Okay, so a 5-foot step back again, try to put more distance between myself and the creature, try to
Okay.
get a good aim at it, but I am shooting in a melee, so it's -4. So I'll just roll a straight d20.
That counts.
I'm getting a dice cup, just so you know, for that exact reason. Tired of dropping fucking dice.
So I hit AC 11.
Yes, I got to remember to use action points, Mark.
Yeah, defense is since
13
he is
of them.
still, yeah, it's 11 for him. So
that's a hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
Wow. Beautiful. Okay.
I'm just scrolling back through the chat.
6
While
points
you
of
guys
damage.
go over your
6 points of damage.
Yep. I put a bullet in it.
rules over there.
All right.
Yeah, Geomark agrees on the morale rules. It's like some of the most typical stuff is half the hit points or when the leader dies.
Yeah, or I would say half their number for certain types of creatures too. I think there's a lot of different variables. It depends on what type of creatures you're dealing with. So
if you remember like playing CRPGs too, like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, they would do like half hit points. They start rolling morale checks. At a third of hit points or a quarter of hit points, it gets even more severe to the point where like when they get close to death, that's when they're more likely to run away. So the checks get harder to accomplish.
okay. So it takes its turn and it's going to attack either Glume, who has now arrived on the scene, or Meecho. We're going to roll. Glume, you're 1. Meecho's 2.
Did Glume do any damage?
Meecho is 1. Gloom's 2. Meecho's 3.
What was Glume's
Gloom's
damage? 4. I didn't even hear Glume's damage. Did he do any damage? You rolled for
Glume
damage?
did 6 points of damage with a knife.
He did 6 points.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So it is attacking Meecho. So you will be flat-footed for this attack.
Okay.
So no dexterity for your defense bonus. And you were not wearing your vest? You were wearing
No, I'm not wearing a vest.
Okay. I only ask you that because you seem to pick and choose when you want to wear it. And so since
I mean, I don't
like
even know what the
all
minus
time.
speed is. I should probably just be wearing it all the time. But I just
Yeah.
don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I think after this is
what you
over, I'm going to just put it on and keep it on forever. And that's it. If I'm
That
slow,
would probably
I'm slow.
be a good idea.
Yeah.
I only ask you because you seem to sometimes not want to wear it.
I take it off, and so now I have to take away my dex too. So I only have a 13.
Okay, so 13. I did roll a morale check for him, and he rolled a 17, which is a pretty solid roll. So he's going to stick this thing out. He's particularly stubborn. So he will attack you with his primary bite, which is +6. 7 + 6 is 13. Your defense is a 12.
13.
13. So he hit you, just barely nicks you with a bite. Long, oozing, dripping, disgusting fangs. And he does 8 points of damage to you. Okay. You can also hear some like a clash in the distance. You can hear screaming. Every now and then you can hear a shot coming from the other group of people in the landing party. All right, so we're going to go all the way back around, and it is now Meecho's turn again.
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is also the third round of combat and the fourth round since he cast the spell on you, so to speak. So you've got 2 more rounds of your strength bonus. Okay.
Oh, geez.
You weren't adding that, dude.
I needed to add that to my 16. That should have been an 18.
It's still.
I know, but
it's an extra +1 or +2.
It's an extra. Oh no, it's actually +1. So it should have been 17 instead of 16.
Okay, so I will modify that and give you your +1 on the damage. So
thank you.
It doesn't kill him, but he's pretty.
But it also changes my now. Does that also change my melee? Because I'm a +2 strength, which makes me an 8 melee. But if I'm a 3, then I'm a 9 melee.
So that would have put you at +9. That was the thing that would have put you at +9. Was the fact that he increased your strength for 5 rounds. Yeah. But you still hit. But you still hit. It doesn't change that. And
so you know what?
The point of damage. So
I'm going to power attack again.
Okay.
I'm going to power attack because I have that extra strength point from being modified by Josh. So
okay.
My melee is technically a 9, not an 8. So I'm going to take away 4 again and just stick with a 5 melee.
So you're going to roll 1d20 +5 then, with the +4 going to your damage. Okay.
And I rolled a 7.
So 7 + 5 is
12.
You still hit, bud. That's 12. I hit with
12?
an 11.
Yep, it's a 12. Yeah, because he got his dex defense back, so it's a 12 out of the box.
Okay, so then it's 2d6 +3.
7 + 5 is d12. Okay, so you hit. Wonderful.
Yep.
And then I still have 4 to add to that. So +7. Yep. 2d6 +7. I like this power attack when it hits, at least.
When it's useful. Yeah.
6 and 3 is 9 +7 is 15.
All right. So
16. 7 and 9 is 16.
Oh, 16. All right. So you swing the first hit and you hit this massive hit that slices like halfway through him because he's also kind of standing still. So he was exposing his side. And then you spin around and you overextend it and miss him horribly. And then you recorrect and hit him from the other side, which essentially just severs this thing completely in half. Like you literally cut him down one side, spun around and took the other side and went straight through him with the Viro sword. He lets out a as he is completely, his head is his midsection is completely sliced through. And he falls to the ground dead, just oozing black and green ichor from the open carcass that's laying there.
Is there an adjacent enemy? Because now I taste blood.
That was the only enemy, because the other one is out of sight attacking the other guy.
Okay.
Who fucks harder now?
Yeah, but you know what? I had my melee wrong. I knew it. So I said something was wrong. My melee was wrong. Your strength bonus, I forgot to add it to the last power attack. Remember, you bumped up my strength to 1. I didn't add that. I didn't add it to my melee. So I always had a melee of 7, but then now I had a melee of 8. Then you modified me, maybe a melee of 9. So you put that all together, plus the feat that I just got last level. Big difference.
You hit it kind of the nail on the head. The biggest problem with this edition of D&D, Gamma Roll, whatever you want to call it, is there's a lot of pluses to keep track of. And it's like it becomes incumbent on the player to keep track of their pluses.
Right.
Because they all add up, and those additions could be the difference between hitting and missing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life and death.
Yep.
And the irony of our friend who was talking about fucking was he got penetrated by this thing. So he kind of got fucked by this thing.
He did.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
So
in the chest. He got a chest fucking.
Yeah. If we go after the other one, if it's still kind of ravaging the crew, we want to make sure the crew survives this. So if it's still attacking them, I'm going to go after it.
Okay. So Glume is also mobilized and ready. He's already kind of half heading in that direction before you guys, as Meecho's kind of basking in his glory for a minute there of cutting this thing in half.
I wipe the purple blood across my chest.
And you can feel the power that you had been charged up is starting to dissipate, like the pulse, because your body was kind of you felt like this pulsing around your body, almost reinforcing your strength. And now you feel it starting to ebb as you reach the end of well, you don't even really know what happened.
No.
You just know that you felt stronger for a moment, and you really, other than he kind of gave you the old try now type of a thing. But so you don't really understand, but you can feel now that that's starting to dissipate at this point. And Mallory and Glume turn and start to run towards where the other crew members are fighting this other eel. Okay.
Do we hear like sounds of distress or anything like that?
You heard some screams, you heard some shrieks. You're sure somebody is injured in some way. But we've got to kind of work our way over the top of these logs and get to where we can see them and where the combat is happening.
Also, like, it's clear that this thing, and I was trying to observe it. I didn't take this action really when I had the chance because we were in the middle of combat, but seeing it go through someone like that, I've been trying to observe, like, this is not something that happens naturally in nature, right? This is something that's beyond the bounds of nature, right?
I mean, that's hard to say in Game World, right? Because it all is kind of nature now, but it certainly
seemed like it did that like way too easily. Like it.
Yeah, it almost like it had some kind of phasing capability was what you observed as it attacked this guy, because it went into him easy and then it almost like unfazed as it was exiting him, and his he just kind of exploded. Think of like the chest burster in Alien, but coming out of the back, but maybe a bigger thing, maybe that's a few feet
or
in
like
diameter.
a fish that's like also a hollow point or something.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, that's true.
Point,
I mean,
big hole in the back.
If the first one did that, that means the second one can do it too. Is that what you're getting
that's the thing. I'm approaching, but I'm like, I'm gonna keep my distance at the same time. I don't want to get right up next to it. I want to like approach cautiously. But if there's another one, I'm gonna engage it in combat.
Yeah, you've seen two of its attacks. When it attacked Meecho, it was just a bite. It just, and it did a pretty decent. It did 8 points of damage to him, which was a pretty solid hit. And then it had this other attack, which was like a full, almost like a charging attack. So, I mean, you did witness how it lined up with this guy and how it kind of did the dirty deed to him. But okay, so we crest the top of the wood, and we can see down now on the other shoreline that there are two of the crew members are down, dead. One has a similar hole in his chest, or actually from his back through his chest, and another one is kind of been chewed up a little bit. And there's three that one of them has a pistol, and the other two have like clubs that are battling this other eel at pretty close quarters, maybe I would say about 25, 30 feet away.
So I don't know if this is a new initiative, but yeah, I'll charge in with my long baller and try to get a shot off as soon as I can.
It's the best,
get within range.
The best weapon.
Okay.
Ever.
All right, you keep your hard baller.
That's it. Yeah, let's take your long slide hard baller out.
Long slide hard baller. That's right.
Yeah.
Get it straight.
All right, so let's
a long ball hard slider.
That's what she said. Hold on, let me move us down and get an initiative column here going so I can. My stupid Google, fucking hate you. And then crew member 1, crew member 2, and crew member 3. This is so much easier than writing it on a piece of paper. Maybe not as fun as finding it later.
Roll a new initiative.
Yeah, let's since we're entering combat, everyone will roll a new initiative.
Alrighty.
And that actually reminds me of something, Chris. Next time, I'm gonna try to find this sheet and share it with you. A friend of mine created a 3.5 initiative sheet that auto calculates. Put the initiatives, put the names of your party, and it'll actually sort them out for you.
Oh, nice.
If I find it, I'll send that over to you.
So I rolled a 17. 16 plus 1.
All right.
Well, you roll the rest of the initiative. I think I'm going to use the rest of them quick.
Go ahead. Yeah, I got a couple to roll here.
It's 18.
All right, 18 for Mallory. Crew member 1 is that a 6 or a 9? I believe that is a 6 because there's a little dot below it. Crew member 2 is a 9. Crew member 3 is a 16. Oh, sorry. Glume is a 13 plus initiative plus 6. Right, 19. Okay. And the monster is last but not least. 6 plus 1. Or sorry, 1 d. It's an 8. All right. And it has, I just want to put its hit points here. You know, one of the cool things about a fast hero too is that for Glume, I was looking at the talents, and I picked the talent where you cannot, you're never flat-footed in combat.
Yeah, not dodge, but it's there's dodge and uncanny dodge 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, it's a 1.
Those are like and they get more and more progressively badass. And as any thief kind of character, holy crap, you need all those dodge feats. Absolutely, I would pick all. I mean, the converse that you get for fast hero are not even worth it. Take all the dodge ones because
the movement one isn't bad, but only I think if you get all the dodge.
Yeah, it's nice, but the dodge one is like you're gonna save yourself so many hit points by picking those up.
So what I missed? What's the order?
All right, so we're still just working through the order here. I want to get these guys' hit points down.
Wish G-Mark a safe drive home. He's driving home right now. He'll be back in the chat in 35 minutes.
Okay. Hopefully we'll still be here. All right. So here's the order. Glume, Mallory, Meecho.
He's still listening. He's still listening, though. That's pretty cool.
Crewman 3. Crewman 2.
So he's listening to us on the move.
The last crewman.
That's dedication right there.
He's using XFM or some weird crazy shit. I mean, who knows?
No, he's got. I guess he has a Twitch app on his phone. It's probably
the Twitch app on his phone. He's probably using his hard-earned data right now to listen to
on us idiots,
or his company's data, like I do. So.
All right. So do we have?
If he's lucky. Okay, so Glume is going to act first, then Mr. Mallory, then Meecho, then the crewman, then another crewman, then the eel. So I don't know. This thing looks like it's in a really bad place right now, doesn't it?
Paper and pencil, man.
The eel already looks like it's been hit a few times.
It's been nicked a few times, but I would say that the crewmen were struggling with it.
Okay.
So and they also have been hit a few times as well.
Okay.
Lock that up a little bit too. 2 of them have been injured. All right. Okay. And so Glume's going to go first. He is going to shoot into melee while moving forward, I guess. Well, we ran forward. Yeah, he's going to shoot in melee.
Yeah.
Woo!
Sorry, guys.
It's okay, man. It's a long night.
I was super excited. I've been thinking about this battle all week long, and my plus strength thing and my power attack and how I was going to use those both together. And very excited. But then that hour of technical difficulties knocked the wind out of me, man. It's just like I feel so bad about that.
And, and that's the part that I say sucks too, dude, because it's like it's hard for you because then you have to go through all that technical fucking fumbling and then turn it off and go, and now I'm creative and I'm going to think about my character and act and play, and that's not always easy to do. So Meecho takes a shot, or sorry, Glume takes a shot and he hits with the spike and sinks a spike into it. Not a deep shot. It's like kind of surface and does 5 points, 5. And did you say that you add your dex to damage when you're shooting with a ranged weapon, or no?
I asked you that question. I do that in my game, but you don't. So you don't.
You're right.
Like, you already set the rule for that, and that's you add strength to melee damage, but you don't add dex to ranged damage.
Gotcha. So, oh wait, I rolled the wrong dice though.
And that's absolutely fair. For me, it's like something that I added to my game because I felt like my game needed it, but it's not necessary.
All right, so he hits it and it screams. It is going to be flat-footed too, guys. So your DC is going to be 11 to hit in all these cases up until it gets its attack at the end of the round. And it's Mr. Mallory's turn.
So I hate to be the devil's advocate here, but it already started combat with these other blokes, right?
Yep.
It should not be flat-footed right now.
Even if we're attacking it from the side.
It's already in combat. It already had a turn. The flat-footed rule is when combat is initiated, everyone is flat-footed until their round comes up.
Okay.
Theoretically, its round has already come up since it's attacked others.
Okay. No, that's fair.
It's
So then
flat-footed.
that was actually the difference between Glume hitting it or not. He only hit it by 1. So actually, no, it's still a hit because he hit it with that exact number. So anyways, it doesn't change anything. He's only got a +1 to
I hate
his.
to play the devil's advocate on that. It's just it feels like if we start taking away everyone's decks as soon as another party member comes into the scene, we're going to be doing it a lot.
So yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, the idea is that
the fight's been going on.
Yeah, you're moving defensively, you're fighting, you're being evasive. So yeah,
fair
point.
Like it should be already something that's taken into account.
Okay, so he hits it. It's your turn. What do you want to do?
So how does it look? Does it look like it's still kind of giving up a fight? Is it bloodied? It's
bloodied. I would say it's been bashed a few times, and you could see some and where Glume hit it, it's bleeding. But I would say it's not like it's been chewed up a little bit. I would say moderately.
How are the combatants nearest to it?
They look about in this. 2 of them look in about the same kind of condition. The 2 with the clubs. The one with the pistol is at a distance, so he looks pretty fresh and clean. But the 2 that are on it, that are hitting it with these metal rods, are they're about in the same level of shape as he is. They've been a little bit through the ringer, I guess.
So I'm just weighing if I should do this, if it's worth.
I'm trying to say without saying exactly what everybody's hit points are.
Yeah, no, that's good. No, that's good. I want a description. I don't want the actual point there because that'll be giving up too much. And I need to be able to figure this out without knowing the actual hit point total there. That's not the way players should have the information. So I think, considering I still have 14 points left, I'm gonna put her to sleep again.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend 5 points, so that I'm down to 9. And I have to hit a DC of 7 when I have +10. So I hit it. I hit 18. The
only thing we're worried about there is if you roll like a 1, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I put it to sleep.
All right. So it
for one round.
The same thing.
So next round it's going to flop, and I use my 6 words to say it. Hit it now.
Yep. And so Meecho, what you see is once again, Mr. Mallory points his hands, and you see nanites fly at it. They're humming and whizzing around this thing and disorienting it, and it starts to slough down and almost fall to a prone position, and it's disoriented and apparently looks to be asleep.
So where am I?
You are. When we were running towards it, you can close the distance to it and attack it if you want.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to like bum rush it. I'm going to power attack again.
Yeah, feel free to power attack.
Because this is my last round of that extra strength, right?
Yeah.
So I have.
No, I would.
Was it my 4th? This is my 4th round now, isn't it?
4th round was when you attacked and killed the last eel.
Oh, it was?
Then 5th would have been movement. So no.
Okay, yeah. All right, so no, strength's gone. So I'm just have a regular 8. I have a regular 8 melee.
Yeah. He even mentioned it last round too that the strength had left you.
Yeah, I know. He says I felt it fading away. I thought that meant that was my last round coming up, but
I think that was the last round that you had.
Okay, no, that's fine. So, but I'm still going to do it with 4.
Okay. How much are you holding back for damage?
4.
4 plus
yeah,
4.
Yeah. Okay. So I have 4 melee. That'll give me 4 melee and +4 to damage.
Okay. Well, he's definitely flat-footed now if he's asleep. So it's a DC 11 to hit him.
Okay, so I rolled a 12 naturally, so and a 16.
Fucking right.
Yep.
Fuck it up. Perfect, man. That's awesome.
So a 7 plus 2 strength is a 9 plus 4 is 13.
13. All right. You did not hit his massive damage threshold, but you did 13 points of damage. 30.
We have someone who just joined the show. They were listening to the podcast from 2 weeks ago.
Cool.
Now, Royal C. Welcome to the show.
Nice. Well, yeah, welcome. Yeah.
Yes, welcome.
A new friend. Always nice. He said it was tripping. My video is trippy, I guess is what he was
Yeah,
saying.
both of you guys
Video
are going
balls.
in and out. That's okay.
Well,
That's
also I have the power cosmic every now and then. If I can't conjure it now, but there it goes.
Oh, shoot, it's Mike the trucker. Hey, man, what's up, dude?
Oh, it's Mike. Hey, Mike. Holy shit, it's Mike.
Cool.
Mr. Oil
All right. He found us on Twitter.
on Twitch.
Twitch. Jesus Christ, I don't even know where I am. It's one of those
Right.
nights. Where are we?
Well, so hopefully he's not super disappointed now that he can see us.
Well,
I
now,
just on Twitter.
All right. So
Mike, do I look the way I sound? Are you disappointed in the way I look, or is it just about right?
Let's all wait for the response.
no, that's dead space.
He
I'll
tuned
wait
in,
for
looked
that.
at us, and oh god.
No, gee. I don't seriously think anybody was thinking we were
Mike the trucker has logged off.
About right. He said it. We look about right. Okay. That's good.
All right. So the crewman that's close by is going to attack this thing while it's kind of slumped over too.
So Meecho's attack did a number on it, but it didn't kill it.
He cut it once again. He sliced through like halfway through it, and it's oozing really good, and it lets out a sleepy scream.
So all the other combatants too should be able to have a flat-footed advantage on it because it's asleep now for the rest of the round, right? So
yes,
all the other ones will have the same advantage. Yep.
All right, cool.
All right. So Jesus, this guy's a fucking idiot. He rolled a 1. So he goes to hit it with his pole. He rolls a 1 and he slips and ping, the pole just misses
He
horribly.
brains himself.
Yeah. If I were a mean DM, he hits his friend in the skull and kills him. No, I'm not doing that. I had a friend who would do that. I hated playing with him. But he rolls terribly, and he's gonna also. I'm gonna make him flat-footed if this thing decides to attack him next round, just because he rolled so poorly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now
With his
next
flat
is crew member 2.
Crew member
rolled
2.
7.
You tuned in just in time, Mike, for crew member 2.
He actually pulls his pistol up and shoots his 9mm pistol.
Oh, he's got a 9.
And-
He's carrying a
And
9.
he misses with a 7.
Okay.
With a +1 is 8, and he still misses. And then his friend is going to attack as well with the pole. He rolls a 15 and he hits.
Nice.
He's going to do 1d4 +1. He does 4 points of damage. So he brings the pole down upside this thing's head, and its eyes roll up in its head, and it falls over in the water.
You know,
and
these guys talked a lot of crap on. Oh, you know what? They
We
died.
killed it though.
Killed it though. I'm gonna go. Let me know when I could talk to these fucking guys.
Meecho, I mean, listen. We just helped them take out 2 of these things. They could have taken out all their crew.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like heroes to these guys
Yeah,
now.
but you know what? They talk a lot of crap on the deck of the boat about dangerous waters and everything. They came out here with poles. The hell's that about?
I mean, you got a vibroblade.
Well, no, I'm good, but I mean, I don't know. You'd think they'd be a little more prepared than with poles.
I think they were just as prepared as we were gonna find sailors to be as prepared.
I guess.
expect them to have-
I don't know, but they talked a lot of trash.
Are you guys actually having this conversation?
Yes.
staying
Yes.
there?
No, in front of them. In front of them, I'm having this
Okay.
conversation. I mean, this
So
guy
you
right here.
and
I
me-
point to
you
one
and
of them.
Mr. Mallory
I point to
talking
one of the
about- I thought
guys
they'd
that
be
was.
tougher.
There was the guy that was a smart ass on the deck. You remember him? I pointed that
He's dead.
guy.
He was one of the
He's
first
the dead
to
guy.
die.
No. He was. They were talking to each other. Those two.
I thought that guy was the one who had like the fish blow through his abdomen, like right.
That's the guy who's the fuck. He was the guy who fucked.
Yeah, he's the guy who
person
fucked.
that
But then
fucks
the other guy, but he was talking to another guy. The two of them. I point to his friend. He was talking a lot of crap.
Yeah.
This guy over
So-
here. He came
And
here.
you point
Came
to
out
the guy
with a
who
pole.
missed completely, and he's
He came out here with a pole.
puffing and breathing very.
I march back and pick up his dead friend, whom I greatly respected.
Okay.
I briefly hold him up and look through the hole in him, but then I lower him back down.
Okay.
Mike, I don't know if you missed this. Mike, I don't know if you missed this, but a guy had an eel go through him, and so he had a big hole in him. We were talking smack to each other before he died. So, but I just gonna take a quick look through the hole, and then I pick him. But I bring no man left behind. I'm not leaving this guy behind, and I'm bringing him to the deck of the ship.
Hey, Sully, remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied.
That's what you said. That's what you told me.
Fish blows through.
Okay, so you know, and to be fair to these guys too, you know, on the deck of their ship, they were the person that did the fucking, but they got pulled out of their element and onto the shore where they didn't have the dick that they have on the ship. Their dick is twice as big on the ship.
That ship had some big guns, but you know.
Exactly. The ship is a big dick, a totally big dick. Nobody went back, and the ship didn't even come to your aid, or couldn't really even come to your aid. So,
right.
Well,
anyway.
I'm expecting us to get kind of a little bit of compensation for this because we kind of saved their crew's ass a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
but they also did. They also did. I don't know if we're talking about this too as we're walking back, but they also did come down this far on the river just because we kind of, as a special favor to us too. They probably. They did say they didn't want to come down this far. It's kind of our fault that this happened, but just leave that part up. If you're going to negotiate with these guys,
begged us to go down this river.
Right. Listen, if you're going to negotiate with these guys, just don't bring that up.
No, I won't.
I'm just saying.
I'm not the best person to be negotiating anything.
No, maybe, and we're not sending.
I don't know.
Glume
You
in
rolled
there.
a ridiculous diplomacy roll to get the vote, which was
the first
a 20.
time.
Yeah, but I don't think you
been
had
downhill ever since, though. Ever since
well,
that roll, it's been kind of downhill.
Well, you only have like a +1 diplomacy, right? So that was just a lucky roll, basically. Yeah. Because we're not the most charismatic group of people.
And we're not trying to extort these people. We're just trying to make sure that they understand that we're not idiots.
Yeah. No, I think they look at us with newfound respect, and I hopefully that especially the captain, when I bring one of his dead crew members back, I don't leave him lying in the pile of rubble. I respectfully lay him down on the deck.
All right, so they're binding each other's wounds. The one guy is picking up the dead and starting to pull them down the beach. And you look up and you see Glume is standing next to the metal case that these things were in. And he's got his rifle on his shoulder and just kind of scratching his head and looking at it for a second. Standing by himself.
Wait, who's standing by himself scratching his head?
Glume is standing over by where these things were being kept. The thing that set them loose was a trigger of some kind. So he's over there just scratching his head for a minute.
Okay, so then after I lay the guy down, I mean I'm jumping ahead of Mr. Mallory. So go ahead. I don't know.
No, I wasn't going to say anything, but like it is quite odd that the DM would use the words "let loose." So, yeah, I kind of want to get close to Glume and ask him.
Yeah, me too. I want to put this dead guy down and then go back on that and see what the hell's going on over there.
Because I mean, at first I thought this was just a sudden attack from natural creatures, but thinking back on how the situation played itself out, it does seem like they were let out.
It was triggered by something, yes.
Yeah. So I look at Glume like, what are you thinking?
Well, this is a trap. This is a trap. This was set here. They wanted us to get off any ships. They wanted us to come through here. And this was a trap. It was that guy who set it off.
Who? The same people who own your armband?
I don't know. You guys are really hung up about this armband. No, I don't think it was bling. No, I just think this is set. This was deliberately set here. This was deliberately done for a purpose.
But I mean, we should know like the way up this river, though, it should lead to our next destination, right? Where that we're used to visiting.
I guess I don't know. I just think it's odd, really, that there was a trap set here.
Do you
This
think
was
someone's trying
orchestrated
to
by
impede-
somebody for some reason.
I mean, do you think it was meant for us specifically? And I asked him straight in his face, like, "You think this was meant for us?"
No, not for us in a sense, us, but an us that would be doing the same kind of traveling that the us is doing. Yes. Does that make any sense?
Kind of. I mean, I kind of I understand what you're saying, but like, why would anyone try to slow them down? Like, what's the point? What's the grift? What's the catch?
Maybe they're trying.
I don't know.
They're trying
That part
to. Aren't they probably trying? There's probably a town down this river, and they're trying to protect it from the
I
water.
mean, they even
from
mentioned that
waterbound
they don't
travel.
usually come down here. They would have dropped off. They would have weighed anchor up the river and just fucking fucked off and went back. So I
Right.
mean, this was unplanned for them. So who planned for the unplannable? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, there's
if this
probably.
was
I
unplanned
would.
for them. Who planned for us to do this? How is this a trap?
Oh, it's a trap in the sense that this is here as a protective mechanism for stopping travelers from making their way down the river.
Okay,
There must be a
I can see
settlement
that.
down there.
Is that what you're thinking, Gloom? Something's just trying to keep us from going up the river?
I'm only noting that this was intentional. This was a trap. Somebody captured those things.
Are you sure this was intentional?
That's a trip line. That's a trip line. It was. It
Yeah.
was, it
You
was
found a
wedged in
trip
all
line.
Well, the
logs.
trap.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It didn't. This thing didn't come out of a hole in the ground. This thing came out of
Okay,
something.
I didn't
tripped
know
it.
that you found a trip line.
Yeah, when they were prying stuff, they saw the line trip when they moved the logs, and,
Yeah.
and that made this door go flying off, and these two things came ripping out.
Right.
So
That's what I remember.
like
is that
some kind of
something,
spring trap,
Something
yeah.
sprung
Okay, yeah,
and
that's
flung
definitely.
open. So
Yeah, you're right. Then.
yeah, there must be a town down here. I don't know if Brookdale would have said it. I don't know how far. I don't see now this. I look up the river. Can I gauge how far? Do I see anything familiar like towards Brookdale? Should I make a knowledge streetwise check? No,
Well, you're not in.
I'm not in
a
the
street,
streets,
really.
but I'm not. That's not even proper use. Of
I
it.
mean,
but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to gauge. Are we really? Do we need to continue to take a boat further up this river to get to Brookdale?
yeah. Well, you can't get to
Or-
Brookdale up the river, but because the river flowing by Brookdale was pretty swift. You remember?
Right.
So I mean, you can get they'll take you as close as they can, and also it gets too narrow, right? So the boat can go only so far up the river.
Right. So, but I mean, in other words, so there's a leg of the. So obviously, we're clearing the debris to make it further down the river. I mean,
Yes.
how much? I'm trying to gauge how much further we're talking about because I'm thinking that maybe this river joins with that other river. So maybe Brookdale is just like maybe a couple of kilometers up this river, and we just instead of spending the energy taking this thing apart, just go start hiking it.
I mean, you could hike up the river. I mean, you could try to hike up the river.
But
You
I do that, I'm wondering if my character could gauge any sense. Either I don't know if I should check the map, if I could ask maybe when the crew members next to me and pull out the map and ask one of the crew members, "Hey, do you know where we are on this map?" Or does anybody know where we are on this map?
Yeah. So the crew members are doing other things right now. You were standing by the trap. Does anybody want to investigate the creatures?
Yeah,
And
I'm going to
we
do a
take a look
search
at
on the creatures, and I'm going to do a search on the trap eventually. But I'm going to start with a search on the creatures themselves.
Okay, do a search then.
19.
Okay. So you start in kind of looking at the creature, and you notice that its skin has these blotchy black patches on it. You even look at it; it doesn't look healthy. Even its blood, when you look at it, it's kind of greenish, but then it's got this blackish, sluggish like thickness to it.
Maybe physical or behavioral sciences, if I can get it high enough. Could I tell if they were held in captivity if I get high enough?
I mean, looking at their snouts and stuff, you could tell that they were in the box for a bit. The box was like partially submerged in water, so you could see that that was kind of keeping them alive, but they were on top of each other. So you could tell this thing had lived in the box for a while. And then
They were in captivity, yeah.
Yep, and it doesn't look, like I said, it doesn't look healthy at all. There's a sickly like smell to it even.
Okay. I do a search on the actual trap.
Okay. Well,
less good there, but 21.
Okay.
No, 20.
Okay. So when you inspect the box, you see a lot of that. Like there's a lot of black slime over the inside of it, and the water is really murky and it has a terrible smell to it. And actually, when you start to look at it and you look at the river is kind of slimy looking, almost like it has a sheen to it. Like at this point, you can tell that it's grimy and it's gross, and it has a sulfurous like odor coming off of it almost. When you're on top of it, you smell it, and now that you smell the creatures, you can smell this just kind of everywhere.
Hey man, that thing stinks.
What? My armpits?
No, that thing.
Okay.
Whatever you guys are doing there, it smells.
So I've searched the trap. I've searched the creatures. I think I'm gonna try to search the creatures like more thoroughly. I'm gonna try to like take one of them apart.
Okay. Like dissect it?
Kind of dissect it. I'm just really trying to like search it for any kind of oddities, for puncture wounds, for like anything that might make it stand out from a natural creation.
I mean, I don't
Any
know
kind
that.
of engineering.
What kind of equipment do you have? I don't know that you could. So because they were just in combat and they're all hacked up, finding any kind of puncture wounds, it'd be really kind of hard.
As he's doing this, by the way, I could be seen in the background waving this map around, asking, like, "Yeah, how about you? Do you know how far?" And I keep walking back and forth.
Okay, so two guys carry a body by you, and they kind of half ignore you as they're carrying the bodies down the beach to where the boat is parked.
Okay.
Um,
I'm trying to add some comic relief to the scene. Because clearly he sees no value in dead animals other than eating them. But there's probably something to be learned for sure. But he's trying to just wave his map around.
Does anybody have listen? Does anybody have the listen?
Yes, I do.
Skill?
I think I have.
Yeah,
listen.
of course. I mean, we all can do pretty much listen checks untrained.
Oh no, yeah, it's untrained for me. I have spot, survival.
So, I got 22 on listen.
Oh, listen does
22 on listen. 22.
Yeah,
Damn.
I mean, listen can be done untrained.
Oh, it's a roll. I thought you had 22 skill points.
No, he rolled a 22.
Okay.
So it's a d20 plus your wisdom.
Actually, Glume rolled a 23.
All right, here it goes.
Can I roll?
Do I have to roll? Or am I waving the map around?
Roll 1d20, yeah. Roll 1d20.
D20 plus your wisdom.
Plus my wisdom. Do I have to subtract for my wisdom? No, I have to subtract charisma. Wisdom, I'm neutral. 7. So.
Okay, so the sound of the map is going to drown out whatever we hear, but you and I you're cutting this thing apart, and Glume is just searching around the trap, and in the distance you hear a very low screeching. But this is more coming from the air. It's not coming from the ground level, and it's not coming from the water. You can hear this screeching, almost like a bird, but it's like a screeching and a clicking at the same time.
Again, with these clicks.
That's probably not something we should be approaching.
Wait, we're approaching? Wait, it's coming towards us?
Not, but
it's coming from the woods that are just or actually from down the river. You can hear it coming from that way.
Yeah.
Oh, guys.
If we stick around here, we could be in trouble again.
I think that's dinner. I think we just set off the dinner bell for some animal. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
So what are you doing now? They still have one more body to get down by the boat, so they're walking back over there. The guy with the gun is kind of supervising the other two guys that are picking up these people.
I'll join in and help out, making sure that they get their comrade up on the
Yeah,
ship.
yeah, me too. I mean, I could grab him. I grab him and fling him over my shoulder. As a matter of fact, because I'm strong. I got the strong as an ox. I probably could just lift them and throw them over a shoulder and just start telling them to go, like start pushing them towards their boat.
Okay. Now make everyone make a spot check.
Ugh. Oh no, it's +7, 16.
Yeah, I totally failed that 5. I'm too busy helping out with his comrade in arms to spot around myself.
Glume rolled a 26, so he goes, guys, and he points down the river, and you can see down the river now as you stop what you're doing. Meecho's holding a body. He turns and looks. The other guys are loading the bodies on the boat further up the beach, but we're probably about maybe, let's say, 20 feet away now, and they're loading the other 2 bodies in the boat. You see the form of 8 somethings flying towards you, and you can see that each of the 8 has something clutched, something long and pole-like clutched in their claws as they're flying. These shapes that are flying more like like I said, like a gliding and flapping their wings every now and then, but they're gliding from just above the treetops, and they're swooping towards where we are.
Wait. There's 8. Okay, wait. There's 8 things flying.
Yep.
You said what, with wings, and is a creature? These are creatures?
Some kind of bird-like creature.
Bird-like. And they have poles in their hands?
But they're clenching some kind of pole in their hand.
What the
Yeah, it does. That sounds like no good. It sounds like we're in trouble.
What the hell's a bird doing with a pole? And
They could be intelligent birds.
we have to keep. I don't know. I just keep. I don't like this, so I pick up my pace and try and see if I don't know.
Okay,
get to the cover of the boat at least.
Meecho turns in with the body and starts moving as fast as he can towards the boat. Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Mallory, what are you doing?
I'm gonna follow Meecho back to the boat as fast as I can.
Okay. Glume is gonna do the same. And as we're moving, they're closing on us pretty quick, and you can see them now gliding down and angling down and almost diving towards the beach, in an effort to, looks like, land somehow behind us. We're running for the boat, and as we do that, these 8 forms kind of smash down into the sand, and then as you see them hit the sand, they transform and they stand up, and they're less bird-like and more bipedal, in that they have 2 arms and 2 legs, and they've somehow transformed, like literally right in front of your eyes, from these giant leathery green, almost bird-like pterodactyl looking things into these moldy black looking fish men. And Meecho, you generally remember seeing something that some guys that looked like this in the bar at Glendale when you were there. There was some kind of amphibious looking fish man there. And these guys look very, very similar.
That's pretty deep. I think I remember you mentioning a guy like that. That's pretty deep, dude. That was a long time ago. Do I remember this? You're saying I remember this?
Yes, you remember in the bar.
What the fuck was that face? Was great.
Well, I was glowing white again. I feel like I want to do like something supernatural when I start. Look at it. Look.
The best face, I'm thinking I'm going to turn it into a big old thumbnail, is when you're looking up, you have a screen to your left, right there, and you look down, you need reading glasses. Yes. And you have a little bit, and then you make a little bit of you scrunching your nose because you can't see. Yeah, I'll show you later. It's a great look.
Why am I doing this?
It's a great look. Like you're looking down your nose, like we're all just looking up your nose, and it's No, I'll let you know when you're doing it. It's freaking great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So the 8 of them land.
But you're saying
and
I
now
know
they're
this. I
standing there
remember
holding
this.
some
you're
kind
saying.
of tridents.
I
and they
remember
are-
this.
Yep.
I do remember.
You remember seeing these guys, but they didn't look like this. These guys look, like I said, they have these black patches all over their bodies. They're holding these tridents and spears, and they are not communicating. They're more like grunting, and you can see they go, and they start to charge at you guys. Now
They're
I'm gonna give
charging
you
at
guys
us.
the option. Yes, I'm going to give you guys the
Oh,
option.
fuck. How many of them?
There's 8.
8 of these fucking things are charging us?
Yes. We can do this now, or if you're too tired, we can move on. But I'm going to let you guys call it either way. It's technically an extension of the other encounter, but
I'm happy to do this now. Like, it seems like we've only really been fighting, and I think we could probably get it done by 1 a.m.
I think we could too. I have faith in us, and we seem to have streamlined some things, so the fighting has become less cumbersome thanks to some technology.
But Nick, I'll leave it up to you as well. I mean, like,
man,
it's been a long week.
I don't
know
want
that
to
we
be
have
the.
challenges.
I don't want to be the guy that says stops this thing mid combat. You know, these things charging us, and now I'm totally like, what? And kind of excited to jump in, but I'm also exhausted.
You want to take a quick break, get a drink, freshen up, come back, and we fuck these
I think I
fuckers
gotta
up?
get some coffee, man, or something. But all right, no, let's press on. I just don't want to end the show like draggy. I want to leave them wanting more, you know.
Yeah, so we can do this either way. I mean, it could be another cliffhanger, or we can go right into another combat next time, which would be nice. Or we can do it now. I'm fine either way. I mean, I could go either way. But you guys tell me what you're feeling.
Yeah, but
I saw Josh yawn too. Just that's the reason why I'm trying to read you guys as well.
Yeah, I'm really tired, man.
Okay. So that's.
I don't want to be like I don't want to be a bummer, but then I'm just going to be like low energy during this battle anyway. You know, that's not going to be fun. I just took the problem is we lost an hour of show before we even got started. So
it does suck because we were ready way early.
Yeah. And we had it all good, and then I just unplugged something and plugged it back in, and then
What the fuck's wrong with you, Bummer Dan? I'm gonna call you Bummer Dan from now on.
It's not his fault. It's the setup.
For real though, are you gonna go
These
crawl
my
in somebody's
kids.
window right now and bludgeon them with a hammer? What is the
Me?
stocking hat thing in your basement thing? I'm just curious what that is.
It's cold down here, man. It is. I'm cold.
We're fucking old, dude.
And I have a big shiny head, but
I'm
it's
glowing, and
cold.
you have a stocking hat on. Josh is yawning.
12 o'clock. It's just too late for all of us.
It really is. Like I said, I remember doing this for fucking days, dude. I slept on my friend's floor, and then we'd jump up and play for fucking 12 hours. We wouldn't even eat.
There's something wrong with me though, dude. I get up, I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I can't go back to sleep.
4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 4:30 in the morning. I'm up almost every night.
There's your problem.
Every night.
Yeah.
Every night. I was up 4:30 in the morning this morning, and I don't get up. I mean, I go back in bed, but then I stare at the ceiling until 6:30 when the alarm goes off.
Yeah, I'm gonna write you a prescription. You know what it says? Don't wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I know you work in the city. What do you?
No, I don't wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I wake up like to pee or something. And my alarm is 6:30.
Oh.
But I just can't fall back to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, I get a song in my head, or I start thinking of something, and that's it. I'm up all night. I'm up the remaining 2 hours I have.
You know what you got to do to put you
And
to
it's
sleep?
happened to me a couple of days in a row now, and it sucks.
You got to take a shit. Take a good shit. Go right to bed afterwards.
I know that's another thing. I've been shitting at work. I've been having those work shits.
I'm glowing again.
Those morning
work
glow
shits.
shits. I said work shits, and you started to glow.
Yeah,
I did because I got excited. I was like,
He
we're gonna have a shit
starts to
conversation.
glow. He starts to shimmer.
I'm like the last dragon. I get the power of the glow. Oh shit!
Sorry.
Sorry.
Keep it in the microphone.
So I think so. That's
Yeah,
what
I'm
we'll call
sorry.
it. You guys
I'm
are being
sorry.
charged by
I'm
8
sorry. Listen,
mutant-looking.
I bought a
disgusting,
bottle of
oozy,
melatonin.
oily-
I bought a bottle of melatonin. So
Oh, don't do that though. You get dependent on that shit, man.
do you?
Yeah, it's not good. My kids take it, but they bounce off the walls. They take melatonin to be normal. To go to like even
no, I
It's
mean,
okay
I'll
to
take it like
take
right before
melatonin,
bed.
but
Or
if you take it for a long amount of time, it will give you secondary effects.
all right,
Or
so
you
I'm just
your
gonna
body
I'm
doesn't
gonna.
produce it anymore.
But no, what
Doesn't
happens is that I've gone a couple of days like getting up, get on like 5-6 hours sleep. So I think now I'll take 10 milligrams before bed.
Mhm.
10. That's a
Damn,
lot.
That's what my
Yeah, it
doctor
is,
said
'cause-
to take.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
What about
extra
a rub and
strength,
tug?
like
You can
5.
just rub and tug. If you do a rub and tug, does that put you to sleep?
I play Gamma World. That's what I do.
No,
Oh, that puts you to
that's the thing.
Well,
That's the thing.
my
It's not.
adventures apparently put everybody to
It's
sleep.
not. It's not falling asleep. I fall right to sleep. It's the staying asleep.
Yeah, I mean, I do that all night, dude. I wake up like, look, this is like now it's like the old man,
Yeah,
the
but
middle-aged man podcast. Is
you
what
could
we are
take a
now. We're
nap,
like,
though.
oh,
You're a
and I
nap
wake up and my
guy.
knees are hurting so
You're a
bad.
nap guy. You've seen. You could take a nap. You took a nap before the show, didn't you?
I rebooted. I closed my eyes for 30 minutes, which was like a reboot because my brain was
Every night
finally
you'd come over here and you'd be like, "Yeah, I was napping."
Well, that I would. Yeah, those times I was really like I would take like a 2-hour nap.
I can't
I
do
had a
it.
cup of coffee at 8 o'clock. Now I won't be able to sleep till like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Now you sound like an old man.
Oh, so you're old too, dude.
And like my wife is a big coffee drinker. She was a barista at Starbucks. She knows coffee is her life, and we were realizing that coffee is really starting to put a number on us, and we're getting a little bit older. And man, if as soon as I have a coffee after 5 o'clock, that's it. I can't sleep the rest of the night. And tonight, because we knew I had a game, and my wife wanted to stay up. It's Friday. We had coffee at 7, and like that's it. I'm in it for the long haul.
You're ready for
There's
two
no
more
way
battles.
I'm gonna fall
You
asleep
want 2 more
before
battles?
like 4 o'clock in the morning now because I had a coffee. So
Well, listen. The following Thursday, I'm going to do what I can to sleep a little better and have this set up. Maybe, hopefully, my kids are not remote, and I can freaking get my computer back.
But dude, I'm so stressed out about them being in. I almost don't want them to be in. Like I can't. I don't know what's the right thing to do because I'm so stressed out about them being in. Although they seem to be handling it well at the school, but
so I'm with you on that one. It's like I just put mine back in. It's like how long do we wait before they send them back home? This time we're the ones with the COVID, right?
Right.
Yep, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I feel like it's inevitable. Like just when is it going to happen?
It feels like.
Yeah. So I don't know. But Mark. So but back to the chat. Mark wants to know what constitutes a work shit.
A work
and
shit.
I said, well,
you're pinching a loaf at work.
Your first answer, yeah, pinching a loaf at work. That's.
Yeah. But it can't be a ghost turd, though. It's got to be like a real.
I had 2 work shits today.
Yeah.
You shit twice at work?
Yeah, within 2 hours of each other.
Oh man,
maybe I'm sick.
I hate doing that, dude.
Maybe I got the Rona.
From shitting it. Well,
the second shit was sloppy work shit. It wasn't not.
We drove to North Carolina and I didn't
back.
piss.
You probably got the Rona.
Yeah, I probably. Yeah. I'm gonna go start tasting things to see if I could taste.
Dude, I find myself
every time I can't taste something, I go, I got the Rona. Like something tastes bland to me, I'm like, wait, and they put a little salt, and they go, oh wait, no, I'm all right.
We need to get back to that.
All right.
We do need to get back to the watch-alongs, Mark, because I still want to watch that fucking Roddy Piper Frogtown. I gotta see that. And I've been waiting.
You haven't seen Hell Comes to Frogtown yet?
No, and especially in light of the fact that you guys are kind of fighting the frogmen here. I really feel now like I want to do that.
That's a good movie.
You
man.
coffee drinking, nap taking guys, just go hit the Discord server.
We could.
Do we still have one?
We do. Yeah, I still have it. Yeah, I still have it. We're on it. We've been on it a few times, but it was like a hot thing for maybe it was during the summer. We did it more than anything else. Maybe that was why we did it. I don't know why it dropped off, other than work just got really busy and I just was tired. So I'm geriatric. I didn't take my fucking Geritol. I gotta take my Geritol. Have an 8. Josh and I can have a cup of coffee at 8 and take our Geritol and soak our feet and take a sitz bath, and then we'll fucking watch a movie, maybe a short one, not like a 3-hour movie.
That was cool that Mike stopped by. I'm glad Mike stopped by. Mike, thanks for stopping by. I don't know if it's getting cut out of the podcast or not, but that was cool.
We're still recording.
Yeah, the podcast thing is still recording. We didn't see Long Shot, but I'm sure he's out there somewhere.
Yeah, no Long Shot. Doesn't seem like a normal night.
Yep. Lots of
So
fun.
I guess that's Let's.
We're
guess
gonna
we should
we're
wrap
gonna
things
leave
up
it with a
here.
cliffhanger. I mean, last week, the last show rather, guy gets an eel shot through his chest, and now 8 birds with claws and tridents. Were they?
They're like tridents and spears.
And they look like
Landed,
amphibians.
transformed in the air to these creatures with tridents, and they just are, I don't know, battle cry and start charging us.
Yep, and
Eight of
and-
them.
Frogs.
8 of
And they
them. Are we
went
on the
from,
boat though?
From like a bird-looking pterodactyl thing to a humanoid-looking fish thing.
Are we on the boat though?
The boat is nearby, yeah, but no, you're not on the boat yet.
Oh shit.
No, we were
just
running
to the
finished
boat.
saving the second group from their attack.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're
We're
running
on the shoreline with the
to the
second
boat. Okay. So on that note, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching Doomsday Doopy Doo, listening to the podcast. It's a little behind, but we're going to start updating a little more often. It's going to be Twitch, and then the following I'm going to try and get the YouTube out by maybe the Monday or the Sunday. And then Josh is throwing up. We have those gang signs. Are those Canadian gangs?
Twitch. That's a W.
Oh, it's a W for Twitch. Or is it West Side?
Well, if he did a T, it's like a timeout, which is like he was afraid he was.
Oh no, he's doing letters. He's spelling it.
That's Canadian gangster.
Well, this is sign language. It's closed caption sign language.
Western Manitoba Crips is what he's representing.
It means we capitulate.
YouTube by Monday, and then maybe by the following Friday, the podcast. So it would be like show and then podcast the following week, and then show podcast. So that's why we kind of do this only every other week, because there's still plenty of work to do during the week anyway to get the rest of it out. So whoever's behind and wants to catch up, you can catch up on YouTube. You can catch up on the podcast. Podcast is any place you listen to podcasts. Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio is where Mike found us. So we're iTunes, of course, we're all over there. Of course, leave a review. Give us a rating. Tell a friend. And I don't know, just come hang out with us and play and watch us play Gamma World every other week here on Twitch.
Chris the Starman returns to his planet. Don't be alarmed.
Don't be alarmed. Yeah, you'll miss me when I'm gone.
Chris the Starman.
and you know what we'll also try to do again is we'll do a watch-alongs on the Discord, and maybe every other week to fill in some of the gaps. And if you want to hang out and have really stupid conversations, or you're at all amused by any of the dialogue that goes on between the role playing on the show, I think we have a couple laughs at least.
Yeah, sometimes.
Moderately funny.
doomsdaydoopiedoo@gmail.com. Just not this time. It's all right. And where else? Doomsdaydoopiedoo@gmail.com for email. And you could find us on Twitter and I don't know.
All the good places.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hold on to that game. Stop stonks. Don't sell. Diamond hands, everybody. Diamond hands. Okay.
Diamond hands.
Go ahead, Chris.
And
let's end this
I guess
properly.
Wasabi Peas bitches, and
thanks, Mark, for stopping by. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks, Mark, for coming as always. And remember, everybody, fungal. One more time, just a fungal.
All right.
My fucking favorite. By the way, I'm working on a remix song with Fungal. My kids started it actually first, but we're gonna do a dance mix. We might do a reggaeton version. It's really taken off in my house. I don't even care if anybody else likes it. Fungal. I just love it, and whenever I'm sad during the day or just busy, it just really brings a smile on my face to hear that sing-songy voice, that in key, great key.
I feel like eventually we're gonna need our own soundboard, like a real soundboard for Doomsday Doopy Doo, where you can just click buttons and get various
you could put fresh water in there. You could do some things with it. Fresh water, yeah.
Delicious fish water.
If somebody wants to go back and get some of those Derwin things, you're fucking cock smoking, whatever the fuck he was going.
That first episode where I just hiccuped throughout the entire episode,
that's great. Yeah, that was
a bunch of hiccups.
Yeah,
Mark wants the outro music. He's sick of hearing us.
He turned into a drunk from 1953. You know, where the
Who?
drunks were just had hiccups. Was like that's how they showed
more
a drunk.
often than you think.
And,
All right,
and,
guys.
And also Mark is begging for the
Yeah,
outro music, which I guess is the remix.
I should really
version
plug
of
it
your
into
song,
the mixer.
right?
I should
That's what he
plug it
wants?
into the mixer next time. I was fighting with the mixer too much to plug anything in. There's literally
Yeah, I don't
nothing,
have that one. So
nothing plugged into it anymore.
I only have this one. That one there, which is
Fungal.
low now. But I'm gonna build my own soundboard. I'm gonna have to do that, so we have it. I can just have it here on a computer, like Fred Norris is what I'm gonna do. But all right, guys. Well, I think that's it. We could linger, but we're all awkwardly like waiting for somebody else to leave. Which, by the way, Nick, just so you know, this is why I do the Irish goodbye, because it's just so hard to say goodbye.
I tried to end.
love you
I
guys so
tried to
much.
end the show. I was ending the show completely cleanly, and then you completely wrecked it and fucked it up. And so here we are.
I know.
Come on.
This is why I just disappear, because I'm bad at this.
You're being hard on it. It took us an hour and a half to get this show on the road today.
I know. I feel like we did just start. I feel
know,
like
me too.
we built up to this fight that lasted like an hour, I guess, maybe. And then that's it.
We have games that go like that. That's just how it works sometimes.
I feel, sometimes I just feel like I'm dragging it out, like, and I'm really not. We just don't have the time, but whatever. All right, guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna go now. Worship the Dark Lord. I'm going back to my home world.
That's it.
Fungal.
Thanks for listening. Fungal to all you motherfuckers out there. Fungal to
let's see
everybody.
the bright light shimmer him out of existence.
That's it, baby. Woo! Oh! He's gone! Almost.
That was like a TNG episode.
That was really close.
It's literally
That was
fading
really
in
close.
and out of reality.
Yeah, go!
Ah!
I can't quite
That's
get
it. Our GM is
There he goes. He's gone.
mysterious.
was
He's
great.
back.
fought my way back.
Scary as ever.
Oh, that was
I felt like
hilarious.
it was like that Take On Me video though for a while there. I was like,
Where's Will Wheaton when we need him?
See, and also, other shows will do if there are references to other things. Here I am starting the show back.
Yeah, I know.
again.
Can we end this fucking show? Can you guys get on the phone? Can you guys exchange, get a room and fuck around?
I'm not going anywhere. This is too much fun.
Other shows will recap references in the podcast. Aha, we can recap that stuff. We make a lot of references here. What did we talk about? We talked about fucking Starman. What else did we talk about?
Take on me. Take me out.
Mark thinks we're crazy. I'm glowing again. What the fuck is going on? 2021 is fucking crazy.
Can we end the show, please?
Half in, half out. He's kind of a sketch. He's like the DM that's coming out of the woodworks.
All right, I'm stopping the stream, you fuckers.
All right.
Probably peas.
All
Salty
right.
peas.
Good night.
Fungal.
Good night.
Night, everybody. Good night,
Good night.
friends.
Oh, I didn't hit the button. Say goodnight again.
What the fuck are